Hello, my name is Daniel Christie and I'm your host, joined by my co-host today, Bruce Bown, and welcome to the Coastal Football Agency podcast, Pros Around the World, Euro 2020 edition. The aim of the podcast is to enlighten the Australian Football Society on the different paths that players can take to making it to the top level and showing you through our fantastic programs that it is possible for anyone that really wants it. Please visit us at www.coastalfootballfit.com. We'll be right back after this. Please show your support by liking and subscribing to our channel. Hello and welcome back again to your weekly dose, episode 3 of the Coastal Football Agency Pros Around the World podcast. We have an extremely special guest today, born on July 4th, 1985 from Callao, Peru. A highly ambitious and driven UEFA B licensed football manager with academic qualifications as well in advanced diploma in sports development and athlete management. He's trilingual and has played across 3 different countries. It's the fantastic Luigi Alberto Cordova Vasquez. Welcome to the Coastal Football Agency podcast, Luigi.
Hello guys, hi, how are you? Thank you for inviting me over here, Bruce and Daniel. Yes, I'm really well, feeling, enjoying the great weather today in Italy. So fantastic. It's great to see everything restarting again after, the lockdown. Yes, and football again, so it's restarting. So yes, it feels fantastic today, to be honest.
Beautiful. Luigi, it's a Euro 2020 edition podcast. Where we're coming into a very exciting stage of the Euros as well. Have you been keeping up? Have you been watching?
Yes, exactly. Yes, I've been watching, and it's been amazing. Great to see this high level of games of the Euros 2020. I've been supporting Scotland, because I have a friend of mine who has been playing there, which is Lyndon Dykes. Unfortunately, they didn't make the next round, but it was good to see him playing there. Italy, yes. So Italy, I feel like it's my second country right now. So yes, so been supporting them, and yesterday they have a big interesting game. Yesterday against Austria, they draw the first half, the second half, and then the next time, Italy got the result 2-1. So it was good to see. It was a fantastic effort from the Italian guys. And yes, so the people here, they were, very happy with the result, and gonna be great to see Italy in the next round, which is the quarterfinals.
Who do you think will win the Euros, Luigi?
Well, in my perspective, I see, of course, like Italy is one of the favorites. I could see, they having like a good good development of the young players. Been seeing them for such a long time. It's a new team, and also have in mind Belgium as well. So Belgium is one of the favorites as well. I think record. So yes, we'll see what happens.
Excellent, Luigi. So that's a fantastic little intro to your experiences overseas, and a really good segue to our first part of the podcast, which is humble beginnings. We'll be back shortly. And welcome back to the Coastal Football Agency podcast. If you want to find out any more information about Coastal Football Fit and some of the online fitness coaching services that we provide, please visit www.coastalfootballfit.com. Welcome back, Luigi, Bruce, to episode 3 of the Coastal Football Agency podcast, Pros Around the World, Euro 2020 edition. We've got some predictions off Luigi. He's thinking Italy or Belgium for the final. Bruce, last week, obviously tipped the Mighty Three Lions to get home, and myself and tipping France. So all teams still in the competition, fighting it out, ready to go. But now we want to move into the humble beginnings and from where you started Football Luigi. So basically your heritage, and tell me a little bit about your love for football and where that came from.
Well, um, my football comes from the country in South America. It's called Peru. So I started when I was very young, at the age of 10 years old. I don't remember really well. So I start, thanks to my father. He passed away a long time ago. He dedicated and put me into the way, the street, into the football side. And yes, so I went ahead with my football career. When I was 17, I had the opportunity to go and play for different clubs in Peru, like Cinciano de Cusco, Bolognesi, Alianza Atlético de Sullana. So I started from there, like always involved with the youth with the youth teams. And then when I was at the age of 22, 23, um, I moved to Australia, to take this opportunity to study. And thanks to my mother, she was the one who pushed me to go there and start with a new life, new country, new language, new culture to learn. And so yes, I started to play football there. If I don't remember, first I was with the University of Queensland. That was the first when I started training with them. I didn't sign for them. I was training with the club. Then then I start like going with trials around the area, because it was really hard when you go to a country you don't know a place. It makes your life really hard when you get there and you're focusing on your studies and work, and probably you have a little bit of time, then you can go and play football. First club that I signed, I remember, was one of the local clubs in Brisbane, Newmarket FC. Then I played one season there. It was, after 2 years that was not playing football. It was it was good to see back again, and met some good people there. The boys, they loved me, even when I was not speaking the English very well, but they tried to get me involved in every single moment, inside and outside of the pitch.
Mhm.
Then have this opportunity as well to play for the Lions, Queensland Lions. It was at the time in Richlands. I was part of the. I was more involved with the reserve than the first team. We have a fantastic coach. The name is Ross Graham. I don't know if you guys know him. He was,
No.
one of the, yeah, he was one of the best coaches, I have, in my football career. I learned a lot from him. He was a great goalkeeper as well. The way how he managed the boys was fantastic. You know, putting a lot of disciplines to the boys. I like the mentality how he coaching. He was coaching
Do you like
to the
that old
boys.
school mentality coaching,
In
Luigi?
some part, well, um, in one part, yes, you know, ignore the other part as well. Yes, because sometimes when when the boys are mucking around, sometimes you get to the point, you take everything for granted. Sometimes you need the hard push, someone of a leader or a coach. That one is very positive. That one helps to a lot of the boys. But I
What
do
did
in
you react to as a player? A more old school coach or a more loving hand on the shoulder type?
Mm, well, I react better when I have a coach who is really hard. Yes, who is really
Mm.
harsh, push, and and he will probably will tell you things how needs to be done. If you don't, they will bring another player in your spot. So, that makes you to not just to be worried, but, also it makes you to, to give more than 100%. So in that part could help a lot as well. But
Do you
if
think younger players these days react to that better though, that type of coaching, or
well,
is that just you?
well, that's to be honest, Chris, it depends of the play. To be honest, depends of the player. We everyone we don't react with that like that. Some players I've been seeing that have really difficult coaches. They've been really hard, and then they all of a sudden they want to quit. They want to leave the club. They don't want to be there, or they just don't feel in themselves playing anymore.
Well, what do you think you're like as a coach, Luigi? Now you talk about good coaches. What are you like as a coach?
Okay, myself. Um, well, I am the more involved with players. Players goal. I want to see when I come into a team. I like to, before we start with everything, with training, everything, I would like to study my players very well. As I said, like what, where they coming from, family conditions,
Yes,
situations.
Luigi. Of course, every coach studies their players.
Yes.
What makes you different from other
Other
coaches?
coaches.
What magic dust do you put on as a coach?
Well, yes. So to make me, something that I have into, myself, I I make it work with the things that it hasn't been done yet. For example, if a player hasn't been working on never with left foot, I'm gonna make it work with left foot.
The weaknesses.
I like to make it work with things that the player never have worked before. I want to put in them something that they have learned from me, something new. I don't want to work on what they know, so I want to make it work what they don't know. So what makes I stand them up from myself to be, the coach, to make them to experience, to make them to make them intelligent as well, to make them confident, to get them, yes, great, it was a great training. I could go home and and sleep well. I could go to study tomorrow because I had a good training last night with with the team and with my coach. So for me, it's really important for me applying and teaching them something that they never experienced. So I like that as well. So I'm very specific in that part as well. Yes. So
going forwards, from starting from Peru, and ending in Italy now with Australia and Spain in between, which of those coaches that you in each of those countries, which coaches do you think represented that most hard style?
well, gonna be very honest. When that, that happens to me in Italy, when I come to Italy, I was I was telling you guys with the Venezia FC having this opportunity. Then when it was very interesting because everyone was training in the same in the same camp. You know what I mean? So different fields. So the youth thing in that field, the first thing in the other side. So when I finish with the youth thing, first thing they would keep going training in the other side. So I go quickly, after that, with the youth team, with the under 16, under 15. And remember, after I finish training with them, I go straight to watch first team, sport of the Venezia FC, how to train. So I started standing up there, and start watching it. Sometimes I take notes, I write it down. What Inzaghi was coaching, the players. It was amazing. It was fantastic. It was great to see from a um, ex World Cup champion win, with Italy inside how he the way how he coached the players, all of them, they were listening, they were focusing on him. Everything what he was talking about, like the players that just do it every tactical way. It was amazing. You see how the first thing, training, it was like it was not just, of course, it was not just Inzaghi, it was his full squad. They have like the scouting, the match analysts, they have the assistant coach, goalkeeper coach. They have another second assistant coach as well. So it was all prepared. It was like all well organized. The whole thing. It was amazing. You see, one player's working in that way, probably attacking and defending, working in the other side. With the coaches. Some of the players, they were working like a bit of fitness, and then they were rotating. Something like that. Yes. Yes. So it was something amazing. It was great to see that. Yes.
Beautiful. Luigi, what do you think people who have played under you before and have been near you whilst you've been coaching, what do you think they would say about you?
Well, we always have this, barrier language because, the players, they were like Australians. The coach was from South America. I had my Spanish lingo,
Was that a problem at times? Sometimes
At
the
the
language?
beginning, I would say yes. Sometimes when I say, how South Americans were very passionate. Sometimes they take it really like when I say something, they didn't understand that. They thought I was getting crazy.
Yeah, that's what I thought of you, Luigi. Do you
Yes,
remember one game we played?
exactly, exactly.
Guys, we'll go to a break. We'll come back
Yes.
and we'll
Okay.
chat about that story.
All right.
Luigi,
Yes.
um,
Yes.
do you think someone from Tasmania will have a different opinion of you from someone at Newmarket Football Club?
A new fun. New fun.
Yes.
Yes. Well. Yes. Exactly. Definitely. Yes. Because one thing of what you know,
They would
different of the
definitely have different opinions.
probably yes. You're gonna be very
Why?
honest with. Well, when I went to Tasmania, I arrived there not in the best conditions of my personality. I would say I have behind of the situation of my football, my football team. I was having some, difficult problems in my life behind. So I was no when I arrived to Tasmania, I was not on my best. There was a lot of things was going on in my personal life.
Wow.
So, yes,
Plenty to
so
uncover
yes,
in
so
part number 2 in Luigi's journey around the world and steps to pro. But that's the conclusion of part 1. Humble beginnings. We'll be right back very shortly. Hello, guys. Welcome back to the podcast. We're now going into part number 2, Steps to Pro, or in this case, it's more about going in a little bit more detail about Luigi's journey around the world. So, we understand in Peru is where he started, came to Australia at a very young age, at about 22, 23, playing at university teams, making his way through, had some really good coaching success there at New Farm in Brisbane over 2 years, coaching an under 20s team. Then he was at Lions, okay, and this is where Tasmania, okay, gets sewed into the story before more coaching journeys continue for him. So, Luigi, onwards from Queensland and Lions into Tasmania and then overseas again.
all right. So first high competition I play was the. Do you remember, guys, the Queensland State League? It was before the NPL National Premier League. Before National Premier League, every state used to have the competition, like New South Wales State League, Queensland State League. So they were looking for a goalkeeper, in the Gold Coast team. So I moved there so to have to take this opportunity, prove myself as a keeper. And I have, this is where I met, good people, good players, like Rafael Agudelo, one of my good mates that I still in contact with. Met Daniel Pina, one of the players who I was not expecting it to make the Euros this year, and the Scotland team was Lyndon Dykes. So that was in
Lyndon Dykes. Let,
Lyndon
let's
Dykes.
let's let's stop there. Huge
Yes,
player,
huge
massive
player.
player here on the Gold Coast, looked
Exactly.
up to by many of the young players. When you were watching Lyndon at a young age, could you tell that he could possibly even play any professional games, let alone a Euros?
I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. When I met Lyndon and I saw him playing, I knew it. He was going to go far, but didn't expect he was going to play, of course, for the national team in Euros. But I knew he was going to make the difference than everyone in the team, because at his young age he was only 17 years old. Okay, and then I remember, after the games when we have the meal with players, Lyndon and I we used to sit together. I always like, I don't know, I have always that thing with the young to be involved with the young boys. I try to be like this figure, figure as a old brother, for the young players. So I always come with the word to him, with the word saying something. Maybe next time you have to go a little bit hard because when pushing really hard, they're gonna kick you out. We're gonna put your shoulder, and this is what happened at the level where we play. Because he was like only 17. Because his body was getting into he's not the body that he has already right now. He was very very different type of body. He was more like a kid. And I come always with the word, always advising him. You need to train, sleep really well, eat really well. I was like kind of like an old brother. Um, then he come to talk to me with the situation that he has an opportunity to an opportunity for him to go to Scotland, because his family from Scotland, he wants to go and play there. And yeah, so my advice was always telling him you have to go there. Europe of course is better than Australia. If an opportunity for you is to go there, take the advantage, go for it. But I don't think he went straight away there. I think he decided to stay there for a couple of years. Then after a couple of years, he went to Scotland.
So what you're saying is Lyndon Dykes owes his success to you, Luigi. Is that right?
I don't think so. No, he may. I believe everyone in life has a choice. You know,
Yeah.
and it depends of person. You have a choice, guys, and um, what is there you take, what is the good and the bad. So it's really up to the player, up to the person, and what is good. And if you take the opportunity and you make it work and you work hard for it, you can achieve something in life. And
Absolutely.
the opposite, if you choose that, then that's that's the person. That's you. You know what I mean. So yeah. So I think Lyndon made his career successful because he made good choices in life. This is what I believe.
So, how did you transition from Queensland to Tasmania, where you played with Bruce and I at Northern Rangers? How did that come
Yes.
about?
Well, it was amazing, guys. With you living, when I go to when I arrived to Tasmania, for me it was new with getting involved with the players and the coaches. Of course, I knew something was going to be different because this is what happens to me every time when I arrive somewhere. Uh, we are different. Probably with my previous experience, I don't want to arrive too fire, too passionate about football. Maybe I need to go slow, because I don't want to freak them out a little bit. You know what I mean? So I started like when I met you guys. At first I met you, Daniel. Then I think Bruce was in somewhere else. I think you were in overseas, Bruce, right? When
Yeah, I
I
was in
arrived, yeah,
Thailand
you
at the
were not
time. I
there.
came a little bit late.
Yeah, I saw both of you. First, I'm gonna start with Daniel. Daniel, very skillful player. You were like with your young age. As I said, like I knew you were going to make a good, a good successful, career in the APL. With Northern Rangers. Remember, saw the videos after I left the team. In the year after, you start like getting
You and
great.
everyone else,
Yeah.
Luigi.
So I say like when I watch on the because I was following the games on the video as well. On the MPL videos, Tasmania. I saw Daniel Christo scoring this amazing goal. I said, I knew it. I knew this kid was going to go far. Yes, that was. I knew it,
So
Daniel. So you have yeah.
yeah, you spoke a little bit about that, and thank you so much, Luigi, for those very kind words. I appreciate it. And you talked before about Lyndon and how you like to take players under your wing a little bit, and you like to show them. And I definitely felt that effect throughout your time with Northern Rangers, with me, always making time to go out and do extra sessions and put in that time and effort, and to give me advice off the pitch. And I'll always appreciate that, Luigi, especially with the coaching side of things as well. But tell me, why was Northern Rangers for you, and that time that you spent at Northern Rangers, why was that so different and such a strange time in your life?
Have this situation in life when when it comes into a personal life, it like everyone. This is when I'm gonna go forward with the situation. Not every person react the same in the soccer field. Some people have this situation when you put problems on the side and football here. But for me, it was something really new. So I was facing that situation, and probably my mistake for that was not probably not telling the group about it. You know, I spoke to just only one person, which was Marshall Cooley, who was the president. No, he was the not the president. He was the part one of the club board members. And I was telling him the situation. It comes with a situation. I spent a lot of time in Australia, so because, and I was having some problems with my visa situation. So that was, some of the things I was facing that, really serious because I knew I was going to leave everything, after a long time living in Australia, left everything to go somewhere and restart it again. That was not easy for me. But my situation, it was not as easy, you know, like somewhere else from Europe who come to Australia, because the standards for the Peruvian passport was different, you know. So for me, it was like, okay, I had a time in Australia. Then they tell me that I need to leave Australia as soon as possible. So but they gave me the opportunity to hire a lawyer, to someone to look it up that scenario. So that was something that was affecting a lot in my training concentration and games concentration as well.
Talking about concentration would be a good opportunity to talk about the incident that you had with Bruce against Olympia at home in the NTCA. Bruce, just from your perspective first, before Luigi has to say, what was your recaps from that concentration era?
Well, I can't really remember too much, mate. But no, I think it was just after the game. I think during the game, I think we were dominating. Ended up being a complete, I don't know, can't wait to put it. We didn't end up winning, ended up losing quite miserably.
Oh yes.
I ended up getting a little bit
We
pissed
were that
off,
close. Yes.
shouting non-stop. I think Luigi just wasn't having any of it. Right at the end of the game, he just comes up to me, just starts going off his head. I think I can't really remember. I start going off my head. It was just two of us going at it. And I think Connor comes in between us, separates us, and that was it. That was my recollection.
Yes, no, it was.
Luigi, is that correct?
Yes, no, I was. Yeah, you know, when it comes into football, guys, you know, it happens everything. You know, but Bruce is a passionate guy, and I'm passionate too about football. We both hate losing. You know, of course, it comes to a point. Probably, you know, we knew it that we both could take responsibility because probably we were more that like, you know, I won't say we were, you know, probably the best of the best, but maybe we were the more experienced player, and we expecting it, both of us not making a mistake. Probably we feeling like we were like probably responsible. You know, we both feeling, you know, taking responsibility of the squad because we were more experienced in the club, and then probably that's how the argument started. Hey, Bruce, you know, blah,
frustration
blah.
as well,
Yes,
mate. It was just
frustration as well. Exactly.
yeah.
So it was
That's
just
all it
not.
was, though.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was nothing.
It was a year of frustration, definitely, Luigi.
Yeah.
Did you feel any responsibility towards the team's poor results that year playing in
Yes,
goals?
of course, yes. When it comes, you know, guys, when it comes, when you're a player, we're saying, you know, when the team wins, everyone wins. When we lose, everyone loses. Of course, I was taking a big, you know, a lot of responsibility of that, you know, because every time when I go after the game, you know, with the Rangers, I, I go into my room and I start always thinking what I need to do best to go ahead with the team, you know, to help the team to go forward, you know. It was really funny because you know we were feeling like frust- you know, we are feeling frustrated after, you know, after the games, you know, because we were losing, and we were always finding a way how to make the team work. You know, we talk about, you know, probably bringing players in the team, probably, you know, changing coaches, probably, you know, also players were talking about probably bringing a new goalkeeper as well. So it happens, it's normal. But you know, um, you know something what I learned about football, guys. It's about, you know, the unity of the team. If if everyone goes in one direction, the team will work. No matter what team situation is, if everyone goes in one direction, one line, if everyone agrees, if everyone have this unity as a team to go ahead, 100% the team will work. I wouldn't say they will win the championship, but you know, good results will come up. Good, it will reflect in the team. Maybe we lost a game, but we lost with a good satisfaction because the team worked really hard for it. I'm very positive. It could happen.
Yeah, Luigi, there's some fantastic moments from that year, and I've just got a couple from the top of my head that I want to share. The first one is when you first arrived to the training ground at Churchill Park in pre-season, right off the plane. Luigi, you were dropped off to the training ground by Marshall Pooley, and I remember you rocking up, and I was thinking, wow, this player looks like a really good attacking midfielder, a really good Mexican attacking midfielder. That's exactly what we need in our foreign player. And it turns out you were a Peruvian goalkeeper. I was like, oh, well, we do need a goalkeeper, so we'll take him. But I remember in that first couple of weeks, Luigi, I remember no one could score past you in the shooting drills. And we were shooting out from 10 metres without any defenders, and you were still saving it. And then as the season gradually wore on, Luigi, there was a moment in which you had the ball in your hands in a game. And you had thrown the ball into the back of an attacker's head who had run in front of you. And we'll get it up for the viewers
Yes.
as well. But and then the ball rolls into the back of the net. So Luigi, some massive highs, massive lows. You were
Yes.
talking a little bit about your visa before.
Yes.
What else was troubling you outside of your visa that had that snowfall effect?
Well, having the situation as well with, you know, with apart, it was funny. Um, a lot of things was going on apart of that situation with the visa, with the team as well, because we were coming to a lack where, as well, some of the boys that were not turning up to training, it was making it really hard for us, as well. Sometimes we have small numbers of groups training on the field, then, then not having also like, direction, for the boys. It was like a lot of things as well, we wanted to, when I arrived to Tasmania, I said like I arrived to Tasmania to, to go ahead with my, with my football career. I want to train more, you know, two times a week, 3 times a week. It's not enough, I was expecting it, probably me and Michael and Tiki. We were talking about, coach training or making training for the boys like probably 5 times a week. We pushed up to Marshall, I remember. But yeah, so it didn't happen. But it's a lot of things, guys, coming into the frustration. But it's part of the football. You learn from that situation. That's how it makes you stronger in life. In whatever you want to do. To be honest, I don't blame anyone. I am really grateful for what happened, because if it wasn't for that, I'm really sure it wouldn't make me to be probably that person, to when it comes into a football, to look at the way positive. For example, when things are going really bad in my team, I'm already prepared what to do, to make these things work, because I lived the moment 4 years, 5 years ago. So that's from the bad we learn, from the good as well. This is what I
Beautiful.
believe.
Beautiful. Luigi, a fantastic way to end part two in your journey, and a little bit more about that. We are going to just go to a short break, but we'll be back soon for part three. Now we are going to move into our Rapid Fire 9. Luigi, 9 rapid fire questions for you. A fantastic way to get some extra little stories out from you in part 3 of the podcast. Best stadium / worst stadium that you've ever played in?
Best stadium that I played was the Sunshine Coast. The Sunshine Coast Stadium. I don't remember the name of it because it was a long time ago. Probably was one of the best stadiums that I played. And was in a stadium, probably was more like a football ground. It was, you mentioned about Marchi, but that back in the time in 2012, when 2012 was bad, but maybe I wouldn't say that, guys. But I don't know. But it was one of the funny features that I play, there. But probably they changed already. It's not like that anymore. But I'm talking about back in 2012. Yes. So so that was one. That's when I used to train with the Gold Coast team. When I was playing with the boys with Lyndon, we were training and playing in the ground. Sometimes we're playing at home in the ground.
Excellent, Bruce. Any rapid fire from you?
Yeah. I'll get started here, mate. The laziest trainer that you've ever trained with?
It's a lot of players in my mind. A lot of lazy players. Wow, the laziest one. Conor Doherty. It's a bloody lazy lad.
Fantastic. Oh, God. All right, Luigi.
Yes.
Best nights out / best cities ever traveled to.
Okay, okay. Well, that's with Sundays, okay, and Keynes, one of the best cities.
Nice.
Yes, that in
Wow.
yes, beautiful, fantastic.
Yeah,
And,
with Sundays is
and
beautiful.
Venice as well. Venice, I will mention Venice. I will mention Madrid as well.
Launceston.
Alicante is beautiful. Yes, Brisbane, of course. I live there. Of course, Gold Coast. Of course, Hobart. I like Hobart as well. Beautiful. Something different. I know you guys forget.
You're joking around now, Luigi. You know, you just
I wouldn't say I
you're fucking
wouldn't
around
say
now.
that I wouldn't say the center of Launceston, but it has something interesting. Yes.
Luigi,
Yes.
tell us the story which you whipped your belt off and you slapped someone with it in protection of yourself.
That was a night out with the young boys. I think we were going to a bar. I don't know what was the reason why. I think it was the birthday of some of the boys. I don't remember. We were out, and there was some guy, a random guy, come. I was behind of the young guys actually. I think I was talking on my phone with one of my friends, and the boys that were in front of me. We were walking forward, and all of a sudden this random guy come up, get off of his car with his friend, and he come with, he got in his hand he has a knife. And I saw him. He was trying to, he was approaching them, the boys. And I said, "What's going on here?" He started swearing at the boys. The boys in our team, like they were like, they were not like naughty guys. They were like really friendly. Our boys were really friendly. And then I feel like myself, like I need to do something because I was the oldest boy, the oldest guy. So but when I saw a knife, this game. So the first thing came on my mind was I'm gonna take my belt off and I'm gonna whack that guy because I don't want to see the knife putting into the guys because I don't want it could become an accident or big thing. So and then, so I did like that. So I took my belt off and I started whacking in the I remember in the neck, hitting one in the neck. and then on the way back in the back, man, I giving in the ass. Ah.
Unbelievable.
The guy didn't know what to do. He grabbed his neck like that and had his knife like that, started jumping like that. I don't know. He was on drugs or something. I think he started feeling the pain. He started feeling the pain. Then after he ran into the car, and then they went off. Yes. And the guys were really grateful to me afterwards. They were like, "Oh, yeah." So, yeah. Luckily, it didn't happen anything worse. So,
Unbelievable.
yeah.
Luigi, next question on the rapid fire 9. Your least favorite manager that you've ever worked under?
That's oh well. To be honest, that's a really you know when it comes to the question of the manager, well, maybe you guys, well, if you understand, that's a question that I wouldn't judge any manager because when it comes into when you become a coach, that's how it makes you to be like that part make you to feel like no, you don't want to judge to the coach because you don't want to be judged as well. No matter what the decision the coach has been taking in the team, it's always something good to learn from it. Even from the bad results.
Best ever player you've played with or against or just seen?
Well, I will take this opportunity to mention it. Um, well, in Peru, I have this player. He was I think he's playing now Segunda or First Division. I'm not sure. But this guy in his time, he was like he was really good player, one of the best teams in Peru team. Probably he has a couple of assistants in the national Peruvian team as well. This guy Junior Ross, when I was 17, 18, so we were playing in the same youth team level, and I was witness on how he was called up in the first team in his football career to go far. That was one. Then another player that we mentioned was Lyndon Dykes as well. With the young age of 17, saw his football career how he goes really far as well. I will mention one of the defenders, that play something different, was Jorge Palacios. I don't know if you remember, guys. Of course, you guys remember about him. Jorge Palacios was good as well, with good central defender. Was very different. Yes, was very technical as a player. Yes, and yes. So I have, of course, like a lot of players like I've been playing with, like you guys as well, and other players. But I will mention these three players making the standing up, the players that I've been playing with in my career. Yes.
Beautiful. And the last question of our rapid fire 9, your longest away trip that you've ever had to make in football. Some long trips in there, Luigi?
Yes, that was in Peru. That was in Peru. That was really fun. That was the year before I left Peru to move to Australia. I used to play for this club. It's called, that was Copa Peru, which is like a second division in Peru. Okay, not officially, but kind of like a second division. So who wins the championship goes straight to the first division. But it's a long competition. That goes for the whole year. So the team that was playing, that was mid-July, probably in 2006. That was the team. It's called Tarapacá. And then we traveled from one city of the South Mountains of Peru to the jungle. To get there, we traveled in car by 20 hours, 21 hours.
Wow, 20 years.
So yes, and in the streets, okay, I tell you, the road streets, they were not like a fancy road streets that you see like a normal road streets. You see like streets, man. It was like little, very little, and then attached to the trees, and then the green stuff there. And then sometimes, man, when the car was bounced like that, and then we were like, what's going on? Like it was a rock or something. And the car, we stopped every time the car, just to make sure that the tails they were better. So after we saw, we stopped the car and we get off the car we were with the players traveling in the car. We saw, man, there, and it was like it was a snake. We kill it. Yes. So that was one trips that I have, longest trips. So I was really young. And then another one, well, that was not that long. How long is that takes from Launceston to Hobart?
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. I would say the second place will be that one. Yes.
Yeah.
Every probably 3 times a week. No, 3 times. Sorry, 3 times a month. 3 weekends.
Yeah.
We travel.
Yeah, most guys are down there.
2 hours to go there, 2 hours and a half to go there, 2 hours and a half. So it's like 5 hours, guys. Come on. Wow. Yeah, so I wouldn't remember that, yes.
And that was our rapid fire questions. Thank you very much, Luigi. We'll be back shortly. welcome back to the Coastal Football Agency podcast, to our final question for our fantastic guest today. What is your final message, Luigi, to young coaches that are out there that want to coach at the highest level possible?
In life, to go ahead, no matter what you want to achieve, something I teach in life is to take the risk. Taking a risk, taking a risk, of course, it's a door, that not many people will do it because say, oh, it's a risk and I'm not gonna make it. We always think that. But when it's a risk and you make it, it's something a lot that you see and you will gain. That's how life has been. It's not only one way. Not the 4-4-2, 4-3-3, the 3-5-2. No, it's not like that. It's about you as a coach. What you bring, the message of the players, what you bring to the club. Some coaches in overseas probably, they get frustrated, they go crazy, they lost the head because they lose. But on the other hand, I've met some good coaches in Australia. They keep themselves very positive. And it's something that you learn. You go to Japan, will happen something. You go to Korea, you will learn something good. You go to Peru. So, guys, don't believe because you have a license or a license about UEFA or IFFA Pro or AFC Pro license, that's going to make you a better coach. In the end, you learn from the books something, but in real life, it's you who's going to coach. So that's my advice for the coaches.
Amazing.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for those pieces of advice, Luigi. No risk without reward, okay? And being able to go forwards and be the best that you can be. But yeah, look, thanks again, Luigi Cordova, for joining the podcast. We've thoroughly enjoyed having you on this evening and giving us a little bit of an insight onto your journey around the world and some of the fantastic stories along the way. Thank you so much, Luigi.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for
Luigi.
the opportunity. Thanks. Have a good one, guys. Thank you.